"You'll never afford this on your own." My mother sneered, voice like a slammed door. My dream wedding, gone in one breath. My sister, Vanessa, flicked her hair and laughed. "Tough break, kiddo." Dad just stared at the floor, same as always when Mom rewrote my life. I swallowed the scream clawing at my throat and said, "Got it," before walking out. They expected tears, begging, the usual collapse. 3 weeks later, when their perfect facade cracked wide open, they learned got it wasn't surrender. It was the starting gun, and it fired with one voicemail. From the street, the Harrington house looked like a magazine spread. White shutters, manicured hedges, Sunday roasts nobody skipped. Inside, every smile had a leash. Mom, Lillian, ruled with velvet gloves and iron rules, how we talked, what we wore, who we loved. Dad, Victor, nodded along, a shadow in her spotlight. Vanessa, the golden child, could do no wrong. As a kid, I sketched ball gowns in secret notebooks, dreaming of runways and silk. One day, Mom found them, held them like contraband, and fed them to the kitchen trash. "Daydreams don't pay mortgages," she said. Dad murmured agreement without looking up. I learned to keep quiet. I became the reliable one. CPA, steady, beige. Vanessa studied PR, launched a chic jewelry line, and Mom threw her a launch party under fairy lights. "You've got sparkle," Mom toasted, pearls gleaming. Sparkle. The word still burns. Mine was buried the day those sketches hit the bin. Then came Marcus. I met him at a charity auction. Mom called it charity theater. He ran after-school art programs for at-risk kids, laughed like sunlight, asked questions that made me feel real. First dinner at the house, Mom's smile went brittle. "And your salary?" she asked. Marcus explained his nonprofit work. "Noble," Dad grunted. Vanessa whispered, "Passion doesn't buy houses," and smirked. For 2 years, Marcus weathered their frost. We saved for our wedding. The Willow Barn, rustic, affordable, ours. When Mom offered to help, I dared to hope.
Mistake.
That morning, she summoned me home. I expected seating charts, not sabotage. She stood by the mantel, arms crossed. Vanessa lounged on the sofa, scrolling. Dad studied his shoes. "We're not bankrolling this sideshow," Mom announced. Vanessa didn't look up. "Maybe next lifetime." The air left the room. Heat pricked my eyes, but I locked my jaw, nodded, and said, "Got it." Mom blinked, confused by the calm. Vanessa's smirk said victory. They had no idea calm was now my blade. Driving home, the sky sagged gray and low. My phone buzzed, Marcus, but I needed the road's white noise to stitch myself together. At my apartment, the invitations mocked me from the counter. Sage cardstock, gold foil, our names intertwined. I boxed them, hands steady. Numbness weighed my ribs like wet wool. Marcus arrived at dusk, worry etched deep. "Talk to me." "They killed it," I said. "Called every vendor. Used my name." He reached for me. "We'll fix this." I shook my head. "Not we."
Me.
That night, I dug out my old sketchbook, creased, forgotten in a drawer since high school. Dresses spilled across pages in graphite and hope. I traced a hemline and felt something ignite. Defiance. "Got it" used to mean you win. Not anymore. I made a list. Every vendor, every payment, every contract. Too smooth, too fast. Normal people don't vaporize a wedding in hours. I called the Willow Barn. The planner hesitated. "Your mother emailed a cancellation form with your signature." My pulse hammered. "Send it." The PDF arrived. My name looped across the bottom. In Mom's tidy cursive, not mine.
Forgery.
Next morning, I sat across from Claire Monroe, my firm's former counsel, all steel and stilettos. I slid the fake form across her desk. She didn't flinch, just started taking notes. We traced every dollar. Thousands routed to Vanessa Gems LLC. More to my parents' Amex. New kitchen, new deck. Claire's pen tapped. "This isn't meddling, Olivia. It's theft." That night, my cousin Theo called, voice low. Grandpa's trust $300,000. Yours when you marry. Your parents have been siphoning it for years. Vanessa's inventory, the house flip if you wed, it triggers an audit. They torched your wedding to bury the crime. The room tilted. My family didn't just control me. They robbed me to stay afloat. I emailed Claire. Sue them. Every cent. Court smelled of lemon polish and tension. I sat beside Claire, fingers white on the table's edge. Across the aisle, Mom's lipstick was perfect, but her pearls looked cheap under the lights. Dad's tie strangled him. Vanessa kept checking her phone until the bailiff snapped. Claire laid it bare. Forged signature, drained accounts, trust fund rape. Theo testified, voice cracking. Victor and Lillian withdrew over $180,000. Mom's lawyer sputtered family privilege. Claire smiled like a shark. Privilege isn't a synonym for fraud. Vanessa took the stand, confidence leaking. I didn't know the money's source. Claire held up an invoice. Then why does it list Olivia's trust account and your signature? The judge's gavel fell like a guillotine. Judgment for the plaintiff. Full restitution plus $75,000 damages. Mom gasped. Dad aged 10 years. Vanessa stared like I'd grown wings. Outside, the sky was ridiculous blue. No cameras, no drama, just air I could finally breathe. Claire squeezed my shoulder. You okay? I'm done being their footnote. 2 weeks later, the Willow barn glowed again. Lanterns, wildflowers, 30 guests who chose us. Marcus waited under the arch, tie crooked, eyes shining. Theo gave me away with a grin. Claire sat front row, almost smiling. I walked alone, no parents, no chains. Each step proclaimed a year of silence. Marcus whispered, still good. Never better. We wrote our own vows, quiet and true. The officiant said, you may kiss, and the night tasted like freedom. Later, under the same willow where I once cried, I sent one email. Lillian, Victor, Vanessa, court's over. So are we.
Goodbye. Send.
The calls came anyway, tears, excuses, pleas. Dad's job gone in a downsizing scandal. Vanessa's store shuttered. Mom folding sweaters at Macy's.
Primer let vull sa el fill.
One night, Mom's voice broke. We're drowning, Livy. Help us. I stared at the wall, hollow. Then texted, tense full. Blocked the numbers. Morning light spilled gold across my desk. Fabric swatches, new sketches. My label launching next spring. Marcus kissed my temple on his way out. My phone stayed silent. Peace isn't loud. It's the hush after the storm, the first breath you take for yourself. Mom once called my wedding a sideshow. Turns out the real circus was theirs, and I left with the final bow.